They will fucking fly planes into towers if they have to. They will do whatever it takes for you and I not to sit down and realize that we actually have a lot in common and we have a common enemy. Anything that feels really convenient just doesn't feel genuine to me. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just getting way too distrusting, but if there is a narrative that's being pushed that is forcing me or convincing me to hate one group of people and ignore that my politicians are selling out to a foreign country and selling my rights and freedoms to a foreign country, then I'm not trusting that narrative at all. I'm gonna focus on you who are taking away my freedoms, and then we can get back to the people taking Tylenol, and we can get back to the people celebrating Kirk's death, and we can get back to the radical leftist Democrats. We can get back to them. But anyway, if you are absolutely in love with Nick Fuentes and you cannot help yourself but to hang on to every single word that he says, here is messaging from him that you ought to take to the bank, since he seems to be all over the place right now and can't decide which angle he wants to win you over with.
Do you think that we should be exploring ways of seeking truces, alliances, or at least less combative discourse with our opponents?
Absolutely. And it's so funny. I feel like we're very aligned on this. Maybe we have a similar reaction to it because it's not lost on people that there are real cleavages in society. There is real tension between the races, the religions, the genders, the partisan sides. And so the powers that be did not create those tensions, but they do exacerbate them all the time. And they exacerbate those tensions for, that's where the word conspiracy comes from, for a sort of unseen, concealed agenda, which is convoluted and sophisticated. It's not easily accessible. And I got the sneaking suspicion that is what this provided, which was an opportunity to drive the right against the left, especially when there does seem to be maybe some consensus forming. I know a lot of my clips were becoming popular among liberals and left-wing people because of my criticisms of the Trump administration, of the conduct in Israel. And to the extent that there's a horseshoe, or a far right, far left, maybe realizing they have something in common, this gets in the middle of that process and says, no, we're going to see now a rerun of the right versus the left. And now the right has got to puff up their chest and get angry at the far left. And so on my show on Thursday, I said, we actually need to not take the bait and not lean into our first instinct, which is to get angry at all leftists or all liberals or demonize the other side. And we should really isolate it out and say, obviously, people that want political violence, that's unacceptable. People that encourage or incite terrorism, that can't be allowed in a free society. That's antithetical to a free society. And we should take the opportunity actually to show magnanimity and benevolence to the other side. People are saying that this is right-wing cancel culture. They're saying, how are we any better than the left? They're saying, isn't that hypocritical? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I don't even think we need to argue about it at all, actually. The time for arguments is over. It's been over. You want to see the last guy that was arguing with the left? Well, you can attend his funeral on Sunday. He got shot for arguing. So I'm good. We tried debating. We tried arguing. We tried running for office. We tried governing. And what happened? Well, let's see. Trump got shot in the head, and then Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck and died. And now our own side wants to argue about the principle of the matter. And we should take the opportunity actually to show magnanimity and benevolence to the other side and really kind of stand against any forces that would try to use this to manipulate us, because they really count on people, because it is so sensational, to get whipped up in the moment and then become irrational. All this talk about fairness, principles, objectivity does not apply here. It does not apply because we are fighting against an enemy that wants us dead, that wants us bankrupted, ostracized. Look at what they have done to everybody that opposes the system. Lawfare, persecution, death threats, murder attempts. This is what they do. What did they do to the president, to Charlie Kirk, to me? I have people texting me, you shouldn't support censorship, then they'll take away our rights. My rights already got taken away. I can't process credit cards. I can't have a bank account. I was put on a federal no-fly list for a year. I'm still banned on Instagram and Facebook, and I never shot anybody, and I never celebrated shooting anybody. Now you want to talk about our rights? It's a little late. Maybe a week ago, people realized right and left might be an artificial divide that they kind of exacerbate when it's convenient. When you see someone get their neck exploded like that, it suspends reason, people forget, and they just want to see the other side pay. So I do think it's an opportunity to, and although it's difficult for the right, find some consensus, not necessarily with the people that want to shoot us in the head or disrespect a vigil or something like that, but with people that want to see America succeed. And they exist on the left also.
This is the point that I was trying to make. Apparently, Nick is making separate points with different people. Like he's saying something to his, underground base that watches his Rumble show, and then he's on Russell Brand mainstream platform, and he's saying something different, preaching a message of unity. I would suggest that you rely on his message of unity and ignore everything else that relates to division, because we all know who the real enemy is, including him. And if he's getting paid to distract you and to lead you down the wrong path, you're not getting paid.